a minute to talk about making some comics? Hi, I'm Jay Sheik, comic book illustrator and art professor, and if you've been following me for a while, you know I talk a lot about composition. I just finished the 5th in a 5-part kind of series on frame composition specifically, and then the other day I posted a video about continuity in comics, and today I kind of want to blend all that together to talk about something really important, and that is page direction and how we direct a reader's eye through a page. So let's take a look at an example real quick. This one is pretty straightforward. This is Chris Somney working on Black Widow with Mark Waid. And if you follow this, you can track Iron Man as he's leaving the city skyline, moving closer, and then getting into this close-up to where we're actually inside the Iron Man suit with Tony Stark. But if you follow this, take a look. He's tracking this very subtle diagonal that leads the eye straight down and through the page. You may not notice it when you're reading it, but these kinds of things help a lot in making your comic book smooth and a very cohesive reading experience. Here's another from earlier in this series, and I really want to direct your attention to the top half of this page. We have this close-up of Black Widow. She's just led S.H.I.E.L.D. agents on this massive mid-air ballet. She's covered in mud, she's tired, and she's got to face this very tenacious S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who is just not giving up. You notice that he is running right to left, which is counter to the Western reading flow. Black Widow is kind of put in the hero's position here, moving left to right, the way that in order that we read things, at least in Western literature. But we have this strong inferred diagonal leading the eye down into this panel, and chuck, it counters back. So we're using the diagonals in the page to reinforce some of the actions that we're seeing happen here. And it makes it a much more kinetic experience for the reader. When we drop down to this panel here, we have the after effect of that. Black Widow's now in the dominant position over the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Now, some of these are kind of subtle, but these directional cues can also be quite literal. Case in point, here's one of my own pages from the upcoming Thistle #2, written by J.L. Collins. And this is some of my line art, and you can see here we've got Thistle in the foreground, and we have this very strong directional energy created by him pointing the bow and arrow, kind of at the suspended crystal here, but also brings our attention to these 3 skeletal figures that are still working away their workshop. And then one by one, he puts an arrow into each of them before we drop back down into the scene and get to explore the room in relative safety. What it comes down to is, more than being just aware of the individual frame compositions of your panels, it's how those frame compositions interact and intertwine with each other to create this cohesive reading experience. This kind of thing doesn't happen all at once. It takes lots of patience, it takes lots of practice, and it takes a lot of reading the comic book artists that you love.